What's going on, guys? Kenny here from 619 Guitars and Gear, and welcome back to another review video. Today we are surprisingly not going to check out a guitar, but we're going to check out a pedal instead. So right here I have the Chug pedal from Solar Guitars. Super excited to check this thing out. So as always, let's get into it. Alright, well honestly I kind of really just want to plug this thing in. I mean, I really could if I wanted to, but I figured we can go over a few features and talk about what this thing's all about. So what is the Chug pedal? Basically, it is a high gain pedal that is voiced as a preamp. So meaning it would take place of the high gain preamp circuit of your amp, even though there is a variety of different ways you could plug it in, whether it is going into the return, which is probably going to be the best way. You can go into in front of the amp, go into the input, or you can even go and plug it into an interface, and then Solar sends you an impulse response that is finely tuned to go with the Chug pedal. I mean, you could probably use whatever IR you want, but they do send you one, so I thought that was really cool. We're going to test all three ways that later on in the video, do a little sound demo with each way. And yeah, I'm really excited to just see which way is going to sound the best. Like I said, probably into the return or probably into the interface with the IR is probably going to sound the best in my opinion. On the website, they claim as far as the signal that the signal passes through a network of high and low frequency filters with the ability to add an enormous amount of gain and overdrive. And then obviously you have your EQ section, so you have your bass, middle, and treble. And then you have depth and presence to just kind of help give you that true amp feel and sound. So that is really cool. They also include a finely tuned programmed gate on the pedal, so that's really cool that it has it. But let's go over the controls real quick. You can see there's 6 knobs, but a few of them are piggybacked. And then you have your stomp button, your in, your out, and then you have your 9-volt adapter plug in the back. This does not have a option for a 9-volt battery. I'm cool with that. I never use 9-volt batteries in my pedals, but some people might, so that might be a bummer for some, but not for me. And then you have an LED in the middle. So starting at the top left-hand corner here, you have your bass on the bottom, your depth piggybacked off of that. Then you have your mid control. Then you have your treble on the bottom and your presence piggybacked off of that. And then over here in the bottom left-hand corner, you have pretty much your volume out. And then you have your gate on top of that. So basically, the LED is going to help you know when your gate is kicking in. It is going to go from green to red once the gate closes. So depending on how much, threshold you throw at it, the gate will either click right in, or it will take a few, milliseconds or so to kick in. So it will go from green to red, just to kind of help you know where you're at. So that is an awesome feature. You have your gain in the middle, and then you have high and low frequency gain over here. Low frequency is on the bottom, high frequency is on top. So that's an awesome, feature just to kind of help tune things in. I'm expecting this thing to have a decent amount of gain. I mean, knowing Ola, it probably does, even though myself, I don't use a ton of gain. But I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that just want this thing to scream. So we will see. Definitely really excited to just see how good this thing sounds. When I saw this come out, I was really excited because I've always loved Ola's tone. And yeah, I'm pretty sure this is going to be one of the ways to help get you to get a tone like that. So we got it here. Let's go ahead and plug this thing in. I'm really excited. Alright, so we're going to start off with the Chug pedal plugged directly into the interface. I have the pedal set at the recommended settings that you can find on Solar's website. I will put them up on the screen here. We're going to start off there, and then what I'm doing is screen recording my computer. We are using the Get Good Drums Kali oversized cab emulator program, so I can load an IR into it. And we are going to load the IR that Solar sends you when you purchase the Chug Pedal. So I think it comes either with the purchase confirmation or the shipping confirmation. I'm not really 100% sure. I forget. But just so you can see that there's no trickery going on. I'm not using Pro Tools. I'm not adding any kind of post EQ or anything. I have the master EQ switch off on the Get Good Drums program. And yeah, you're getting the true sound of what's happening right now. So right now you can see there's an input signal on the Get Good Drums program, but no sound. So I wanted to show you that I am loading in that plugin. So let's go here. And I have a lot of plugins. I would love to sit here and mix them all together. But for today, we're just going to load this plugin that they send you. So it is the All Aboard the Chug IR1. And this is what that sounds like. Alrighty, so real quick, I'm just going to make some adjustments. The only thing I'd really do is probably add a tiny bit more depth, just to get a little bit more fullness in there. Maybe add some presence, a little bit more highs, and then definitely some more gain. And just so you guys know, I am using my Ibanez JBM 10FX 6-string with Fishman Moderns in it, just so you know what guitar I'm using. Let's see what this sounds like. Alright, so I have the Chug Pedal plugged into the return of my EVH 5153. It is the LBX Stealth 15-watt tube amp. And then I have the matching EVH 5153 212 cabinet. I have the cab mic'd with one single Shure SM57. And then I have the Chug Pedal set at the recommended settings for going into the effects loop. I will put those settings up on the screen here. And it sounds pretty good. So sounds pretty good. Only thing I'd probably do is add some more gain, take a little smidge of presence out and then just boost the depth just a little bit, but not much. Otherwise than that, it sounds pretty good. All right, now I have the pedal going into the input of the amp, so going in front of the amp into the clean channel. I have the Chug Pedal set at the recommended settings for that setup, and everything else is the same. My settings on my head are pretty much all at noon, except presence, and the treble is pushed a little bit, but everything else is pretty much at noon. So this is what that sounds like. So it sounds pretty good. Only thing I'd probably do is on the pedal itself, maybe just give it a little bit more presence, definitely some more gain, and then some depth. I'm going to leave my amp the same, but let's just get a little bit more presence out of there. Definitely more gain. Let's see how that sounds. All right, so now that we have tried it out in multiple different ways, was it everything I was hoping for? I can say yes and no. I think it sounds great. It literally is pretty much exactly how I like my tone. The only downfalls for me is I feel like, you know, for being called the Chug Pedal, you really have to crank the gain up to get it to where I like it, at least. And I feel like I don't even like a lot of gain, so I can imagine people that, you know, love a ton of gain, they might be a little disappointed. I mean, yeah, you could pair it with an overdrive, but I just feel like for something called the Chug Pedal, you really shouldn't have to do that. Just my preference. Obviously, I think it does sound awesome. Same with like the depth. I feel like you really have to bury the depth knob to get that nice full sound. Now, some people don't like that full sound. I've always been into that nice, true, full sound. That's all I can really explain. I don't know how else to explain it. You kind of just got a good full low end, you know, good mids, and then you have your, you know, your treble and presence cutting through, so it's not muffled and everything like that. That's just my preference. But honestly, I think this thing is awesome. It's built really strong. I feel like it's a solid pedal. I don't feel like, you know, traveling with it or bringing it on the road, it would break or anything like that. So that is always good. Some people might find it a bummer that you can't, you know, use it with a 9-volt battery. For me, that doesn't really bother me at all, because I use adapters with all my pedals, even if it does have a spot for a 9-volt battery. I just feel way more secure having the adapter. That's just my preference. I love the built-in gate. I think it works really, really well. You know, you don't have to worry about on like a regular, you know, my Boss NS2 or something like that. You have, you know, a couple different knobs. This just really simplifies it with one knob, and works really well in my opinion. But overall, I love it. I think it sounds really, really good. And yeah, I believe they're $199 on Solar's website. So, I mean, whether they're still in stock or not, I'm not exactly sure. I got this a little while ago. But yeah, totally happy. I'm super glad I decided to buy one. And yeah, I will probably, you know, find a way to mesh it into my pedal board somehow. I have the MX5. I don't know if there's a way I can, you know, mix it in with the MX5 and make it work. Maybe go into the effects loop of the MX5. Because I believe you can hook analog pedals up with the MX5, so that's pretty cool. I'm going to have to experiment with that and see what I can come up with. But yeah, super happy with it, super glad I bought it, and I think it sounds great and it's a lot of fun. So that's pretty much it for this video. As always, guys, thanks for watching. I'm hoping you made it till the end. I know it was kind of just a, you know, weird video where you really didn't see me that much, but you don't need to see me anyway. I kind of just wanted to concentrate on how this thing sounds, and, you know, you being able to see the adjustments that I'm making and everything like that. But I really appreciate you guys. Thanks for watching. As always, stay safe, be a good person, go play your guitar, and we'll see you in the next video.